Now we have the Shroud of Turin that recently it was discovered to be a fraud. Now there are other similar or even much more outstanding frauds than this. Now Ethiopia is claiming that they have the Ark of the Covenant. That is the mechanism that was in the temple on which God shown his presence was seen. And when the priests going into the most holy place where this ark was, they had to be clean, no sin in their lives, and there was a string tied to their feet with a bell, so that anytime the folks outside did not hear the bell ringing, they know that he was dead because he went in there with sin, and they would pull him out. Now the Queen of Sheba went up to Jerusalem, and she had a liaison with King Solomon, and allegedly they had a son. Now he went to Jerusalem and he met some other firstborn, somebody, as I was made to understand here from their writings, and while he was leaving, somebody told him that they had this furniture from the temple, and because of past, when individuals touch it, others touch it, and he was struck dead, and it was with the enemy, and their king, their gods were falling down before it, and the heads broken off, arms broken off, and all that. Since nothing catastrophic happened to them, he figured that God was blessing them and they would prosper the trip, etc. Now they're saying that, and I'm reading here, then it vanished. Much of Jewish tradition holds that it disappeared before or while the Babylonians sacked the temple in Jerusalem in 586 BC. Now this can't be true, because the temple existed until I think it was 87 when the Romans destroyed it. But before Christ was crucified in AD around 30 or so, they were still offering the sacrifices. It still had the Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, and all that, when the priest would go in before the ark and had the string tied on his feet. Now, when Christ died on the cross, they were offering sacrifices because that was the Passover time, and the lamb broke and got away, and the partition that divided the holy from the most holy place rent from the top to the bottom without any hand, and so the whole system changed from the sacrifices to Christ being the sacrifice, so that the Ark of the Covenant was still in the temple up to then. Now, my understanding, as I said, I have a degree in theology, and my understanding is that the Ark was there, although it did not serve the purpose it did before Christ came to earth. When the Romans sieged Jerusalem after the Jews stoned Stephen, they retreated, and the faithful ones who were in Jerusalem were told, when you see this retreat, you go out to the city and go on the other side. So they retreated probably on the left of the mountain, and they went to the right. And God charted some trusted elders to take the ark, and they placed it in a cave somewhere outside of Jerusalem, and it's locked up there. My understanding is that the Antichrist and his system that is coming on, one of these days, will attempt to change the laws and things, to change around things significantly. Now, the Ethiopians are not saying, they're only saying that Moses, the stones with the 10 Commandments written by God's hand is in the ark. But they did not mention there are some other things in the ark. I recall from my high school Bible class was that there was a bowl with some manna, there was the rod of Moses, and there was the laws that were written in the book, the ceremonial laws. So it's not only the 10 Commandments in there, the 10 Commandments, the ceremonial laws in the books, the Moses rod, and a bowl of manna. So this again is showing that they don't have it. And I just think that this is the next hoax that we need to bust. But what's going to happen before at the end of time? This new ark, the original ark, or the ark that was in the temple, will be discovered to bust the lies of the Antichrist. So, Ethiopia, stop fooling us that you have the Ark of the Covenant. You can't have the Ark of the Covenant because it is hid. And the time that you said you had it almost 500 years before, 586 years before Christ come, that's ludicrous. It's never, nothing like that. This temple service was going on until Christ was crucified on the cross.